knew it was coming. I just couldn't wait for it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Old Volks TV.
Good morning.
Look, we got Chris.
I'm back again.
It's Sunday morning. Sunday morning?
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. We're going to Nathan's house. We're gonna help him put his motor in the oval. Hopefully we can get that nice car back on the road. And yeah, we're gonna drive out there right now. So come on, let's go. Alrighty, we made it. And would you look at all the trees? And a bug. That's Bailey's bug. And it is coming along. And look who it is.
Hey.
Long time no see, stranger.
Yep. Getting the Volkswagen back together. Got some rusty carbs here.
Oh. What are you doing?
I am trying to set this to 0.006 on the Richter scale.
006 is for chumps.
On the Richter scale.
Don't want my dad hear you say that.
The rectum scale.
Hey, this is a family program, son.
Hey. Sorry. That's the worst they hear. They're doing pretty good.
So we're gonna try and stab this motor into this bug right here.
Are we actually going that far with it today?
I would like to. I want to see you drive this thing.
Well, the gas tank still needs to be welded, so if anybody's a good welder here, we can
then-
weld the hole in the side of the tank.
No, you just put a little plastic tank in the spare tire well and run a little
Hey,
piece of
I got
fuel
one of
on
those
it.
too. I interfered.
I feel bad because the last time this car ran, it was at my house and it left on a
Two years
tow bar.
ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, it
2
left
years
on a
ago.
tow bar. So
Yeah, I got a house that got in the way, so no big deal. It wasn't your fault.
it kind of was.
We
I'm the
parked-
one that took it apart.
We parked it thinking we're going to do it the next weekend, and then the next weekend, and then that weekend is now today.
Yeah, that's the reason why I haven't had an engine in my 65 in almost a year.
That's not
Yeah.
my fault.
I didn't say it was.
I know. I'm saying.
Here's the-
Don't
I wanna
blame
get
me
this
for your
apart,
problems.
See what the heck happened. So this is my Gex motor. It was completely full of water. It was completely full of water in that side, and there's water in the oil.
Well, I can
so
tell
I
you
didn't
what,
get on the stand so
what
I could drain
happened.
the oil. I didn't think I should have done it here, but I'm like, I didn't even know it was locked up until I got it out.
What happened was you left it outside.
But how? I don't even know how it got through my vent. It's not a raised deck lid.
Rains pretty hard in Texas.
I don't know how it got in there. I don't know. But
Well, that's a mystery for another day. We'll get that thing on the bench and get it all torn apart and find
see
out.
what kind of damage water can do to some Volkswagen parts.
It can do
Hopefully
some
they can be
damage.
salvaged. I mean,
So, see this little lip right here? If you ever find a valve cover with this lip, do not get rid of it. Not all of them have the lip, and that's what keeps the top of the valve cover gasket from falling down in whenever you're putting it on. If it's in the engine, gravity wants to take it down. But if you got that little lip and just like a little bit of oil or just like a touch of silicone or something to keep that gasket down, that lip's gonna hold it up while you go to crank it on. And then you don't have to worry about your gasket not being where it's supposed to and puking oil everywhere.
Insert the more you know rainbow. Do do do.
more you know, rainbow.
He's gonna put that one on, and that's it, right?
As far as I know, we got to set the distributor wires. I got a hole right here. Side of the intake, we got to plug somehow or whatever connects there.
Just put your finger over that.
It's supposed to be
That's
there.
There's
What is
a,
supposed
fine.
to be there?
It's a breather.
So is it supposed to go to
Some smog thing that we don't need because it's
Oh.
Texas, not California.
get that crap? Smog.
Smog.
It's good for the environment. Makes the trees work harder.
I like that.
So we have such strong trees.
pumping them up, man.
Such strong trees in Texas.
And you got the old Bandito Rib Ace, huh? What a nice belt. If you have this pulley system and you can't find your belt, that's the one you need right there. Oh, can't see it. Where'd you get that?
Tommy actually gave me that one.
Tommy, so call Tommy and he'll get you the right belt.
Belt that Anna told me to get.
That's not the right belt.
It's the right size, but it's too narrow.
Yeah.
You see, it's too narrow. So Tommy had given me this one, and I was trying to do it wrong with this. I had this on wrong.
That pulley system came from.
Probably the belt that came with it originally.
Could be. It's Tommy. That's how he does it.
I haven't tightened this down
We need
yet.
to drive the alternator back. Your alignment's way off.
It'll work itself out. No, it won't.
No.
Well, this
All right, we're gonna do the rest of this in super fast motion because I feel like
here
this is
has
gonna
not
take a
been
little
on
while.
this outside.
Alright, so we got this motor all put together and we're about to, well, they're about to do the heavy lifting. I'm just going to move it out of the way. 1, 2, 3, go! You watch those giant fiberglass fenders. It's not heavy or anything, there's no oil in it. There we go.
That's what's God, that hurt. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, winner.
Woo!
There's no blood.
Yes, I didn't say anything until we put it down.
I would have been like,
Not gonna lie, right now I'm like, ah!
If you don't look too closely at it, it's not a bad looking motor. There's a lot of
I did, man. I really did.
there's a lot of
Woo!
little
That's gonna
stuff
feel
on here
good
that
tomorrow.
just to get it running that we'll have to come back and fix a little bit later. But for the most part, it doesn't look too bad. And the paint color matches the fenders on the car that it's going in, so you know it's got that going for it. We're gonna hook up a battery and put the little Texas Junk Kings brand transmission starter attachment to the back, and we'll get it fired up, hopefully. We'll see if we did a good job. Beer 30. Oh,
I'm
that's-
awake, so it's beer 30.
That's empty. They must be beer 35. All right, so we'll come back in a minute when we get that thing bolted on there and see if we can get her to crank over.
first time to use this thing.
So it should be a 12-volt unit. So basically what Gary did here, he cut off the back half of a transmission and just saved the bell housing. And then we've got a 12-volt starter, a magnet, with all the appropriate wiring, and you just sort of short the from the battery to the positive post here, and she should just fire off. Is that how it works?
More or less, yeah.
I've never used one before, so
Well, typically you have a little fancy little button that we have to keep shorting out the battery.
it'll be here, but it won't be here till sometime around 8:30 this evening
Okay.
on the old Amazon.
Well, we'll just...
So we'll see. Chris said he would be the one to do the shorting.
Yeah, I'll get shocked. I don't care.
It's only 12 volts.
So we gotta get the teeth line. Yeah. We gotta get the teeth line up in the
Isn't that how it does it on its own?
No, you still gotta get it to mate up.
Start checklist, go ahead.
All right, so we got the oil in. We got all our wires connected. We got our battery hooked up. We primed it by hand. We turned it over a little bit to get some oil up into the cooler. We'll crank it a couple times without the coil to finish priming the motor so that it has good oil pressure when we actually do fire it up. This was a used long block, so I know that it did run at one time. Came from our friend Robert down there in San Antonio. Hey Robert, hi Pammy. So yeah, let's we can take that coil wire off and give her a crank and prime it, and then we'll see if she'll fire off. We got to hook up the gas to the tank so that we got fuel.
You don't have to use one.
Oh, wrap those in some of that aluminum tape for insulation. It's only 12 volts.
This can't do anything.
It's the, you don't have the coil wire hooked up, right?
No.
Okay, so we're just gonna prime it. Maybe. Ooh, it didn't turn. Stop.
Not turning.
It's not turning. It's, the starter's not engaged.
Bad starter.
It popped like this, and then it's stuck. Maybe turn it by hand. Take that off and crank it over by hand. I mean, we know it's not frozen, right?
No, it's not frozen.
Like the flywheel's not stuck.
No, I was turning it over by hand while go.
Right.
Tap it a few
Tap
more
it
times.
again. Let's see. Just tap it. Again. Nope. Yeah, that starter's not engaging.
Nope.
Thanks, Gary. Give me that rubber hammer. Give this a smack or two. Maybe that's just stuck.
We need more of a real hammer to jar it. You got it.
Yeah, it's no good. Oh well, let's pull the starter out of another car maybe. The starter's not engaging with that flywheel. It did for a second because
it tried to.
it jiggled. Okay, let's figure this problem out and then we'll come back.
3.
Where'd you put your other 17?
All right, so we figured out the
Should be out
problem
here, I think.
because I'm so smart. Right there, you see how that's a 6V? Well, this is 6 volts. This is a 12 volt flywheel. So while the flywheel fits in the bell housing with no problem, because we were turning it by hand, we know it's clearanced. A 6 volt starter and a 12 volt flywheel do not make nice. So that's why it's not working right. So we got to change this out. Luckily, we've got a plethora of cars on the property here that we can just rob a starter from real quick. So Bailey's losing a starter, but she's probably going to want to buy a new one anyways for that super top secret Subaru conversion that's going to go on in that car. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to change this to a 12 volt starter and hopefully we have better luck. All right, so now with a 12 volt starter from donated by Bailey,
It's got the right kind of patina.
it actually goes into the flywheel correctly. Let's see what happens.
There it goes.
All
Nothing.
right.
Oh no.
Do it again. There you go.
Yeah. We're breaking corrosion off the starter.
It is high compression
So
motor
this is gonna
action.
have to be, because it moves.
All right, well, we got it to turn. So one more modification, then we can put fuel to it, and hopefully it'll fire off, and we can see how much this monster. Look at. There we go.
Don't need to do it. I got it.
He figured it out.
I figured out how I'm gonna do it.
All right, I'd say it's primed. I think we can probably dip that fuel in the tank there and maybe pour a little bit down the throat.
I got started to spray for that.
See? He's against it. So he'll
Not my engine.
No, let him sit here and just crank it until the bowl fills up with fuel instead of, you know,
Doing with the carburetor, man.
instead of doing what the carburetor would do. Go ahead. Knock yourself out, Shocky.
No, you can pour some fuel down the throat. Don't put that starter fluid in there.
Sometimes there's a difference of opinion amongst the mechanics.
Yeah,
We're gonna go for in the hole, not on the motor, by the way.
Aim.
It's probably good. Cause we're just trying to get it to show us a little spark and a little smoke. Because we don't have the timing set or anything. Did you even static time it, or is it just stabbed in there and
What's that?
we'll see?
Static time. I don't ever heard of that.
Oh, it's not turning now. Kinda.
It's not happy.
Well, I mean, that starter is. There it goes. A little more, because it probably doesn't have fuel yet.
It's getting fuel now.
It's.
That sounds like
It's getting
better
there.
to have this like this or this? Better?
It doesn't really matter.
All right, keep going. Yeah.
All right. Take 10.
Do we want starter fluid at all, or are we good?
No, just, it's got fuel.
Ready?
Yeah, let her rip, Tater Chip. Ooh, that's a good starter. There she goes. Do it again. Well, she's a runner. She stinks. She's noisy.
She doesn't idle.
And doesn't idle, so it's about perfect.
Success!
I mean, that's about as perfect a first start as you can get on a bench test motor.
More like stepping stool motor.
He's happy. Look, he's smiling. Somewhere
Yeah,
underneath
nice.
all that beard hair, there's a smile. And Bailey got to see something exciting. And Hudson was over here on his dirt bike, so he didn't care. Yeah.
I thought I was gonna blow.
But I mean, she runs.
So do we want to actually dial it all in?
Yeah, but with now that the timing is good, let's tighten that down, and then we can start messing with setting the carb, because I know that carb needs to be set.
I've done enough times where if I hit a skip, I know I'm good.
She's a good runner. And she's nice and tuned up. Sounds good. Rev's smooth. That exhaust is good and burned in. What do you think? Rock and roll.
Approved.
Alright. Well, there you go, gang. Took a motor, put it together, put it on the start stand, and started her up. And got her all tuned up. So that's the day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell for me. Thanks for watching.